Yo, what is up, everybody? Yoshi Plays here. Welcome back to another Minecraft reacting video. Yes, Minecraft reacting. It's a new thing on this channel, at least. But anyway, we're gonna continue on with Strange Science on an Alpha Minecraft channel. From Retro Gaming now. Let's go.
And returns to the surface. Marcus constructs a brick staircase into the sky and adds a platform high up. Twice there are strange noises, sounding like mini blocks being placed in rapid succession. With the preparations complete, the video skips to the nighttime. The moon once again has a dark glow with red spots on it. Marcus has invited a group of his friends to attack the moon, a total of 8 additional people. Apparently not knowing what else to do, they fire arrows at the moon, but it doesn't seem to do anything. After all, the moon is a part of the skybox, as a user named Saw13 so graciously points out to the group. About 10 minutes into the video, the moon begins to look different and the players are frenzied, thinking that the moon is coming closer. There are several frames with some type of very close red object. The players are scared now and they tell everyone to run into the house.
I'm sorry about the video quality. I'm the best I can do. How on the highest video quality I can, literally, just show you, 180 P60 HD as the highest. I'm scrolling up right now. Nothing below that. Above that. Click on it. It's on HD now.
As they enter, the textures begin to morph into the Sky 4 tile textures. Then the video ends. The plot continues in the following video. A title says that it was really weird because they got saved from the moon. The players suddenly find themselves in a white room and unable to speak. They drop down into a staircase that appears to be in the Sky 4 sector. After walking through a terminal room, they enter the open air. The players are quite confused. They spend a lot of time exploring the area. Marcus does stumble across several interesting things on the surface layer, such as a Steve head surrounded by black and red blocks. The players enter a hallway and find themselves in a bridge room with lots of strange sounds. As they continue, they reach another hall with several adjacent rooms. One of them appears to contain the same reddish obsidian that we saw in Marcus's old world. Marcus discovers another player, this one with a gibberish name and a checkmark for a face. The other players examine it. After a few moments, the gibberish player's head moves, accompanied by a sound. A title from Marcus says that he doesn't believe it is a bot. Back in the bridge room, Marcus discovers another Steve head encased in glass. Then, from the hallway, music. The other players have found a jukebox, and they have a brief little dance party. Marcus looks around the corner and sees that the checkmark man is gone. It appears behind Saw13, and we see it walk quickly with a noise. Throughout this video, there are several titles written by Marcus in editing, with varying levels of cohesion. One says, "Rotten to the core, it is used as a vessel for the impure not from this world." Another says, "The ground beckons in an increasingly chaotic fashion." Back on Sky 4, a player with a white skin has appeared. The group follows them. We discover that it is Sai. Soon thereafter, we see a death message of Saw13 in the chat. They were too infatuated by gibberish to escape gibberish. Sai ignores the death message. He tells the players not to trust anything that is even similar to Red, and says that he PM'd all the new people with the key to the gate. Sai leads the players back up to the console room, where there's a door leading to a magenta area. But it turns out, it's not actually Sai. Instead, we see that the group is now following the checkmark player. Apparently, no one has noticed. One by one, the players enter, but Marcus is hesitant. After all, isn't magenta similar to red? The next video takes a step back and contains an edited montage of shots from the previous videos. It zooms in, highlighting the void beings that have been hidden. Then there's a message.
In the 23rd cycle, the moon will leave its host, and then it will come forth into your world and rightfully take its host. It was pure chance, yet too it was so very lucky. At least for us it was. One more thing, check the website.
So let's check the website. And if we do, we will notice that it has changed. At the top is a pointed star. This lends credibility to the idea that Star is the one who created the site. Let's see what's different.
Haven't you heard? It's a pure coincidence it ended up here. Yet a perfect one. A perfect place to spread. Files always being exchanged, servers being joined, a pure place of incubation. The truth, the end is nigh. They won't just be in Minecraft soon. Do you hear it? That wonderful rumbling? In the 23rd cycle of this sector, the moon will leave its host and will exit its one rotation incubation phase, and it will appear in your world. It will rightly gain its new host, as it shall.
It appears to be a prediction or a prophecy of some sort. It's our second reference to the moon leaving its host. We've seen quite a bit of strange moon things in Mark's world. Could this be related? Furthermore, Star mentions a sort of rumbling, calling it wonderful. If the rumbling is a good thing for Star, then it's a safe bet that it's not such a good thing for Psi and X. Lo and behold, the next video on Psi's channel is called Rumbling Heard After MB Delta Toppled Over. It's a short little video. In it, we see the destruction of a place called Moonbase Delta, according to the description. And yes, there is a distinct and repetitive rumbling sound. Whatever it is, it's caused massive damage. The video also gives us a potential clue to the nature of Sky 4. The design of Moonbase Delta appears very similar to Sky 4. Is it at all possible that Sky 4 is also on the moon? But there's a much more important matter at hand. If there's a Moonbase Delta, does that mean that there's also a Moonbase Alpha? Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, we found another connection to the moon. The collapse of a moon... Also a Moonbase Alpha? Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, we found another connection to the moon. The collapse of a moon base may correspond with the odd things that have been happening to the moon in Mark's world. The red dots, the tentacles, we can see similarities to both of these elements in the moon base collapse video. It leads naturally to a tentative intuition. The sudden instability of the moon is somehow connected to the appearance of Star and the Void Beings. In fact, Star has told us on the website that something's going to happen to the moon on the 23rd cycle. But what? For the moment, we shall return to Marcus and his friends. The following video starts with Marcus entering the Magenta Room and is called Talking with Spire ended shortly. Spire and Marcus can now speak, and they have a conversation about the previous events. Marcus mentions that Psi said that the key to all this is admin space. They talk a little bit about the checkmark person. Spire drops into a hole that leads to the central room of Sky 4. The video missing continues directly after this. Marcus drops down the same hole and finds himself once again in Sky 4. Spire is nowhere to be seen. As Marcus explores, he finds some of the books left by X. About 3 minutes into the video, he discovers a hole in the wall with a pit, the same pit where X threw Star's book. Curious, Marcus jumps in. It is extremely dark in here. Marcus uncovers a weird door in the wall and notes that it is very red. There are several chests in the room, although most are empty. One, however, is not. It contains 2 items called Void Keys. It also has check and X items called Assets Tiles Accept and Assets Tiles Deny. Finally, there's a book. When Marcus exits the inventory, there's a message saying that keys have been found in his inventory, which are for admin use only. Marcus drops them momentarily, but decides to keep them in the end. Then Marcus reads the book from the chest. It's called I Had a Fun Day and is written by a character with an upside-down Y for a name. They talk about how they've been in this area for a really long time and they need keys to open the gate. There are people with words on their skin watching from above. Then Y references a void being here, a weirdly shaped head that looks like wires. He wants the keys really, really badly. After reading, Marcus returns the book to the chest and approaches a red interface on the wall. It contains a Mojang logo as well as some spinning fans. Marcus inserts the void key and waits at the door, but nothing happens. Some time has apparently passed before the next video, called Rescue. Marcus, still trapped in the dark room, sees a player appear. She has a white skin with a symbol on her head that matches her username. This is the Unicode symbol for Does Not Force, but we will call her DNF for short. Marcus says that she is the person that the dev sent for him. DNF mentions that she saw the group of Mark's friends. She also says that the place Marcus is in now is not meant for players, and is inescapable without help. DNF opens a piston door and Marcus follows her to the surface of Sky 4. She leads him to her secret stash, which holds 3 additional void keys. Marcus takes them. In the next video called Admin Space, Marcus locates his friends and follows them into a large chamber in Sky 4. When the group sees him, they chat for a little bit. Marcus asks for the key, and XX Master Chief Reef 2001 XX gives it to him. The audio glitches when Marcus picks it up, and he suddenly finds himself back in the dark pit. Marcus removes the 2 keys from the slots, giving him a total of 6 in his inventory. The red door is opened, revealing a corridor. Marcus enters with his keys in hand. As he walks, he discovers several data panels on the side. They tell a disturbing story.
This is it. The admins have left us for dead. My gut tells me this is how the admins wanted it to end up. How fantastic, we lost a key. Asterisk got disconnected, which means his key is gone. I think I hear it in my house. This was a fun journey. We need 6 keys to open admin space. If only it was 5.
Marcus inserts the 6 keys into the interfaces on the wall. Then he approaches the server container and places 5 server drives into the slots. We did not see when he acquired these. The admin space console has been activated. Marcus types several cleansing command variations, but none of them seem to work. It's not clear at all how Marcus understands what commands to type in the console. He even seemed to expect DNF to come and give him a key, something he couldn't have reasonably known. It's a bizarre oddity that doesn't appear to have an explanation right now. The next video is entitled Investigation 5 Moon Shedding. It begins with a credit sequence. It is dedicated to Wien, with Marcus responsible for recording, the investigation, and the keycards. Jamie plays MC is credited for bringing it to his attention, and Sai was the one who told him that the moon was weird. The title sequence is glitchy and deteriorates as the video continues. There is some weird text, the moon is not needed anymore. Then we see Marcus on Sky 4 with a loud rumbling sound in the background. Marcus walks for a while before another title. The thing is shedding off the moon. There's a large chunk of some sort of material, perhaps it's moon rock as Marcus suggests. The video ends with a title that says, "I'm sorry Win, I promise me and your brother will find you." This introduces a new character, Win, a character that seems to be missing according to the title. But for now, that's about all we know about them. Once again, there are more references to strange things happening on the moon. This time, the moon is shedding. It's an evocative statement. Is the moon some sort of living being? Unfortunately,
Yes.
we remain mostly in the dark. But things are going to change quite suddenly with respect to the moon in the next video, called Moonfall. Marcus once again finds himself in Sky 4, but this time everything is bright. Marcus enters the structure, crosses the bridge room, and approaches a vandalized console. There's graffiti on it, an apparent duel between red and green. Green says don't, and Sai was here. Red says join us, do it. It beckons, down with devs. Marcus is apparently convinced by red and decides to open the console, but it's glitchy. He hits the go button, resulting in a noise. Marcus returns back to the exterior to discover that the sky is transformed. It's a beautiful blur of streaky white. The audio crescendos, and suddenly all is black.
I do not like that. No.
Marcus drops into a room full of jukeboxes. He runs forward and climbs the stairs. A weird 5 title appears. Then a cut to a cinematic camera. We see that the area has been destroyed, but there's still a bridge that remains intact. The bridge approaches the moon, which has fallen out of the sky and rests on the ground. In the third person, we see Marcus run up towards the moon. It would not be an understatement to say that things have taken quite a turn. Remember, this channel started out as Minecraft alpha footage. Suddenly, there are void entities, powerful admins, and a moon that has fallen out of the sky. What in the world is going on right now? We do find a few clues if we look at the description for Moonfall. It's a recorded conversation between 2 unknown admins. One of them says the following.
After the containment sector was vandalized by a group of wandering players, it seems another thing took it as its territory. We learned that that single being somehow tore through the skybox into the skybase sectors, sifted through the admin space database, brought out the most dangerous archive machine that outmatches the main admin space terminal, and put it inside of the containment sector for the void beings to ascend. After that, it seemed as if everything was clear as day. However, there were signs of 2 void beings, 1 dev and 1 player near the site of the machine. The player was curious. They pushed the corrupted button of the machine, and then the skybox erupted into a mess of gargantuan flowing strips. The moon fell, dropping from its infinite size to only 2 million blocks cubed. The entire skybase was shattered into an endless sea of broken data points.
So let's take a step back
I don't
here.
need to read
The
more.
containment
That's
sector
fine.
apparently
That's
refers
not
to
that
Sky
big,
4,
you know.
and the vandalizing
Yeah,
wandering
I
players
can
are
make
Marcus
2
and his friends
green
exploring
blocks,
the
9
area.
blocks, like 5
It
seconds.
appears as though these actions
Okay.
have somehow opened the door for the thing to enter the skybase sector. This thing brought out a dangerous machine and put it into the containment sector. When Marcus pushes the button on the broken console, it breaks the skybox and causes the moon to fall. Even so, we still don't know what the thing is, but we may be able to use some context clues to make a solid guess. Think back to the first containment breach. X, the devs, and Psi were attempting to piece together what happened when Star entered the containment sector. As Star has a history of breaching containment, it seems likely that Star is the thing being referenced. Yet there are more details here. The admins talk about Star sifting through admin space and bringing out a dangerous archived machine. We don't yet know the finer details of admin space, but we do know that it's apparently a powerful terminal, one that requires special keys to enter. We also know that several players have attempted to get into admin space but failed, as they didn't have enough keys. But Marcus has acquired the keys by finding several in the Dark Pit as well as gifts from DNF and Master Chief. Despite this, when Marcus opened the terminal, his commands did not appear to do anything. Later, back at the Skybase, Marcus stumbles across a bizarre machine in the wall and he pushes the button. This is apparently what breaks the skybox and causes the moon to fall. Right now though, the broader implications of this are not clear. We need to continue on to the next video entitled Back to Admin Space. This video opens with 2 title cards.
The void is destroyed. Trust us. Jump into the void. You won't be damaged. Jump, jump, jump.
Then we see Marcus approaching the moon. It is solid and he is able to enter it, leading to shimmery hallways. He climbs the stairs and finds it, another much larger admin space door. The description has a link to an unlisted video called Trust Red. Before we watch it, let's take a look at the description, which outlines another conversation between 2 admins.
I had placed a fake admin space in the disposal sector of X's old plot. Right, real admin space was hard-coded to always transport itself to the most safe place it could be, the shedded moon being one now.
From this, we immediately learn that the Dark Pit is called the disposal sector. We also learn that the admin space there was fake. That's why Marcus was unable to run any commands. Let's go ahead and watch this video. Marcus runs a command, database.void.masscleanse, and this time it seems to work. He spawns into a new world with the text admin space active. The world is almost totally white, in stark contrast to Marcus's pitch black skin. Yet, once Marcus makes his way to the surface, we see that the terrain appears to be normally generated, with hills, plains, and lakes. There is even the occasional mushroom patch, adding a splash of color to the world. Marcus walks for several minutes before reaching the top of a hill where he pauses. The music stops as Marcus selects the accept tile in his inventory. Suddenly, from the sky falls a set of pedestals with the admin space style and color scheme. Then, in the chat,
Do it.
Marcus inserts his keys into the bases of the pedestals. After a few moments, the sky turns black. Then, fog approaches, and the video ends. The video description links to another video, and this one's from a 3rd channel, that of Jamie Plays MC. This is one of Mark's friends from earlier. There are 5 videos on this channel, each linking to the next. They give us more information about what happened to the other group of players after the moonfall. In day 1, Jamie, Spire, and Gracious talk about the moonfall from their perspective. Several people from the group have died or disconnected. 2008 score was crushed and Master Chief's text became gibberish. At the end, Jamie points out a piece of wreckage where they will stay. In the day 2 video, we see that the group has constructed a small base using things they found out in the wasteland. It appears as though they take turns walking and searching for equipment. In day 3, we learn that Gracious has been missing. Jamie thinks he's with Saw, implying that he has died. Jamie says that when it's their turn to search, they too will perish. On day 4, there is no one left but Jamie. They open a book and type out a letter to Marcus.
To Marcus, I will kill you. Why, you may ask? You. Why, you're a... You click random and destroy everything. You hate your friends because you're a narcissistic who only cares about ruining everything. I will kill you unless on one condition. You are the reason this place is destroyed. You are the reason 7 people are missing, maybe even 8 soon enough. Save Win with me, please. Otherwise you will face your actions and you will be the 10th missing person, including Win.
Jamie goes to a chest and pulls out a sword. On the final day, we see him pursuing Mark, apparently out to kill him. But Marcus survives. In the next video on his channel, we see him in Jamie's base, with Jamie nowhere to be seen. There is a tower, and Marcus climbs it. In the following video, Marcus reaches the top of the tower, and he discovers somebody we have not seen in a while, Star. They say that they have been waiting for Marcus, and that they are currently outside of the sky, in a place where blocks are hard-coded. Star says that this is a place where there are no more of my people, but then quickly backtracks and says their enemy, the Triangles. This mistake appears to confirm our growing suspicion that Star is responsible for the Void entities. Marcus, however, does not care about Star's rambling. He begins to walk away. Star asks for him to come back, threatening to say his full name and address. Marcus taunts Star, telling him to do it. Then Star loses it, glitching out the world and making increasingly violent threats to Marcus. This gets his attention, and he begins to walk back towards the tower. Marcus approaches an admin space terminal. Star claims that it doesn't work and tells him not to touch it. Then he rages again. Marcus says that he's oh so scared of Star's noodle friends. Star continues his threats. Marcus says that if the next command doesn't work, he'll kill Jamie before Star does, implying that, somehow, Jamie is alive. Then Marcus opens up the terminal and begins typing a command. Star's tone suddenly shifts from combative to desperate. Star begs Marcus to stop and promises him riches beyond his dreams, but Marcus doesn't care. He types code.ai.sentience.void Trojan state remove and presses enter. On the screen we see warning, critical code ejected. Marcus looks around. Star is gone. We hear a weird noise and then suddenly there's a real-life shot of the moon.
What the fuck?
The next video is called A New Body. Marcus exits the admin space terminal and enters a hallway. We now reach the final video, which is appropriately named Finality. Marcus finds himself once again in the white world of admin space. A voice begins talking to them.
Well done, Marcus. You are in the place where thoughts are real. I saved your consciousness and stuffed it in the hollow shell of this body. I've archived it. Only listen, no talking, okay? Marcus, I need to tell you something. I'm the ultimate truth. You are not real, you are a mere fabrication in which you have no free will. Your mind is a myriad clump of algorithms trying to figure out what is going on. But I'm generous. I'll give you a gift. I'll give you a chance to realize you are meat. You will be flesh. You will no longer be a script, but a brain. The things beyond the skybox yield. Interesting things, to say the least. Not interesting for me. There are more like you, Marcus. Think of something, Marcus. A story of a strange figure on someone's beta Minecraft world. Stories and their things. Each with their respective authors and fabricated consciousness. I'm not the author, I'm a author. I'm sorry, Marcus. As you are speaking, this universe is being deleted due to its obsolescence. It's not like a fabricated mind like you would realize. Go forth and wreak havoc. Marcus.
Alright, yeah, things have changed once again. It's going to take us some time to untangle what we've just witnessed. Let's see if I can break this down as much as possible. One of the major changes in the last several videos is the introduction of the author as a character. This is the literal author, the creator of the ARG. In the description of the final video, the author elaborates on this. All a fabrication, used to incubate agents of consciousness and paranormal activities. In this fabricated universe, all years between 2010 and 2021 have been eradicated. The participants were hard-coded not to think they were from 2022, to keep their illusionary light chamber running. In other words, the author is telling us that the characters we've been following this entire time are not real and are instead made up by the author. This seems somewhat obvious, but there's an additional critical distinction. Several of the characters in-game are aware that they are fictional. Let's return to the description of Trust Red. There's a second conversation between the two admins recorded there. They talk about how admin space is Minecraft, the manifestation of all the code put into a machine. If admin space's archives are cleansed, then everything will become uniform, and that their metaphysical existences will end. Then they say they know who created them as Mark's little friends, referring of course to the author. The admins are afraid of their destruction. They hope to convince the author to delay their physical departure from existence. But of course, it did not work. The final 4 videos on the Mark 101 channel were released on October 23, 2022. This was the prophecy that Star foretold, the end of the ARG and the destruction of their fictional world. This brings us to admin space, an area that appears to be connected. There are a few characters that are very aware that admin space holds some type of existential power. In What Happened After the Attacks on the Moon, Sai tells the players not to trust anything that is even similar to Red. The most prominent Red objects we've seen all somehow relate to admin space, be it a door, a pedestal, or a terminal. Sai recognizes its power and attempts to ensure that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Yet, Psy needs admin space. Once Star and the Void Beings enter the containment sector, Psy tells DNF to give Marcus a key, which she does. This is so that Marcus can open the door in the containment sector and use admin space. While the exact purpose is unclear, my guess is that Psy wants Marcus to clear out the Void Beings, which is what he thinks is happening when he attempts to run the cleanse command. But what Marcus and Psy don't realize is that the containment sector's admin space terminal is fake. As described in the first Trust Red conversation, the real admin space terminal is hard-coded to always transport itself to the most safe place it could be. The safest place is the Shedded Moon, which is where Marcus finds the real admin space door. It is there that Marcus is given 4 Void Keys, which he puts into the pedestals. This seems to transport him back to the Wasteland, where he climbs the tower and ends up outside the skybox. It is there that he meets Star. The description of Imminent tells us more about this character.
Apparently, it is the first thing to lay eyes on the truth of why it exists. It was an experimental AI for the experimental RPG game mode of Minecraft, but as soon as it saw the truth, it was given sentience and life. Now it is the ultimate truth. It became more powerful than even admin space. But because it's only intangible since it's outside the skybox, it guards the terminal up there, knowing it's the only thing that could kill it.
Star is also aware that it is fictional. This appears to be what the ultimate truth refers to. In Finality, the author says that they are the ultimate truth. Star is another one of the author's mere fabrications. This has been foreshadowed several times. There were shadowy titles that reference the skybox as a shield and say that the shield could be broken. There's also the title of the video, Outside of the Skybox Lies the Ultimate Truth. In some strange way, the skybox served as the barrier between the world and the knowledge of the truth. Star is the first to realize this truth and become aware that it exists as a character. This is why Star has done everything possible to escape and spread, first by teleporting into Marcus's world, breaking into the sky sector, and then by attempting to get Marcus to shatter the skybox, thus opening the door to the ultimate truth. The Void Beings are Star's people. Yet, even Star is no match for the admin space console, and Marcus removes Star by eliminating the Trojan code. Marcus is the final character to learn that he is fictional. This occurs during the dialogue in Finality, where the author puts Mark's consciousness into Star's old body. In doing so, Marcus has been archived. Finally, the author deletes the world, deleting the universe they have created. The description of Finality elaborates on the nature of authorship. The author says that they are afraid Marcus is now going to be the reason someone will find a paranormal entity in their Minecraft game, and they will become an author too. It spreads like wildfire when attention is brought to it, like an infection. This is referring to the idea that this ARG will inspire others to create similar ARGs. Just as the fictional Marcus discovered paranormal entities, so too will other future Marcuses. And when that happens, there will be new authors creating new content, and the infection will spread. There are some other things worth mentioning here. During the early investigations, Marcus says in his videos that he has a difficult time leaving Minecraft. It keeps sending him back to the window. The description of the beginning has a line that appears to be referring to the Void Beings. It says that they take up a lot of space in the game, all of the memory focuses on Minecraft and it blocks almost all other applications. This explains Mark's difficulties. Now, I want to be clear here. I am not totally confident that this is the correct interpretation. Rather, it's the best that I have personally been able to produce. The project is huge, with over 2 hours of footage across 3 channels. In fact, it's not even complete. The description in Finality concludes by saying that this is the end of Act 1. The next act, called Wind, is already underway on a different channel, linked in the description. So it's possible that there will be new evidence in the future that either confirms or denies my interpretations. Before we conclude, I want to talk a little bit about some of the parts of the story that I do not understand. For example, what's the deal with the original website and the REIJ codes? While we were able to decode them, we were unable to ascribe any meaning to the plain text words. Another topic which has been bothering me are the symbols on the admin space door and pedestals. We can see that there are clearly 4 symbols: a psi, a star, a check mark, and an X. Each of these appears to correspond to a character within the game. The 4 characters are, in some cases, opposed. While psi and X work together and have the same white skins, star is against them. Of the group, the checkmark player is the most mysterious. Their purpose is far from obvious to me. Yet here they are, all connected to one another on the door to the legendary admin space. I have yet to figure out the reason. And what about the accept and deny tiles? The check and X we see in several inventories surely has to be connected, right? But how? I've also wondered about the Steve heads that we see in the Skyforce sector. They're prominently displayed in several locations, but they're never given an explanation. Another oddity is the disposal sector. We know that several people were trapped here, most notably Y. In the description of the beginning, we learn that Y is face depository. Is depository related to the disposal sector? There are also a few examples where players appear to be looking at something that we cannot see. This occurs in the first video, but also in Third World and Demo 01. It really does seem to me like they're following something, but I just can't tell what. Hopping back to the early videos, what's the purpose of the strange house embedded in the cave system? Did Marcus build it? And why does the chest have such a seemingly deliberate configuration of items within it? Furthermore, why does Marcus occasionally get teleported to glitchy versions of his world? A more structural question is this: where is Investigation Part 3? We see parts 1, 2, 4, and 5. Did Marcus make a mistake, or are we missing a piece of critical footage? Similarly, there's an unused 0, unused 1, and unused 3. What happened to unused 2? We will close with a final conversation, one which I have yet to mention here. The description of Rumbling Herd seems to say that if things fall apart, there will be a discussion that appear in real life. In the description of the beginning, it appears as though this may be that discussion. It's from a spy cam, and it's a conversation between a character called Admin Aleph, Psy, and another admin with a cuneiform signed GI4 crossing GI4 Unicode character. The conversation mentions that the worst has happened, and they are meeting by the pier. Their topics of discussion are difficult to understand within the context of the rest of the videos. Aleph mentions that Mojang is going to disband into 3 companies and then reform when needed. Then, a censored person appears, one who is apparently from Mojang. GI4 talks about how the beginning point has entered its first stage. There is also a discussion about the inhumane nature of harnessing the sentient of the redacted people, as well as breaking into people's homes and making them go missing. I encourage you to read it. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find a great interpretation. In fact, you should go and watch all the videos yourself. This is a massive ARG. During our time together, I did my best to give you an introduction, but there's no way I could possibly dive into the details of everything. I highly encourage you to join the official RGN Discord server. Over the past several weeks, this has been the primary location where I've discussed Mark 101. Many of the Discord members were instrumental in the production of this video. So if you're interested, come on over and join the chat. This project is very much ongoing, and we will take all the help we can get. In order to facilitate discussion of this project, I have once again created Google Slides that contain all of the research I did. These include characters, locations, and videos, and there are hyperlinks for easier navigation. These slides will give you information about the project in a much higher degree of detail than my video. The slideshow will be open to comments, so if you have anything to contribute, you can put it there. I will do my best to keep it updated. If you're interested, check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. When I started, I didn't know what to expect, but Mark 101 did not disappoint. It brought...
Let's go look at the Google Slides.
I made a video about...
First, let's take a look at some more fake 100 Days Minecraft YouTubers. From Fizzy Banger, let's go.
fake 100 Days YouTubers, and it got a few million views. So now you're probably thinking, oh god, he's making another video on fake 100 Days. Can you stop clout chasing, and can you leave alone our favorite YouTubers? Okay, I get it, but I've been getting a lot of comments asking me to expose a bunch of new YouTubers who I haven't talked about. Bronzo,
That's what?
Moose. Someone on my Twitter even asked me to expose some dude at his school. Yeah, that last one, I mean... What did you expect? I'm not gonna do that. I understand that people loved watching me expose fake 100 Days YouTubers, but my understanding of 100 Days as a trend has really changed since that video. Channels like Ryguy Rocky, Bronzo, Maxcraft, and Moose had created their own entertaining versions of the 100 Days trend. I mean, look at this video right here. It is a faithful recreation of Five Nights at Freddy's security breach entirely in Minecraft. And this was all done within the 100 Days format, which is absolutely insane. And now just think about this. There were only 20 days between this game's official release and the video being uploaded. That is honestly impressive, making all of this in 20 days. You can clearly see that the teams behind this style of content, which include editors, animators, mod developers, artists, and voice actors, are all incredibly passionate about Minecraft 100 Days. You look at any other YouTubers in this trend and you can see the high production value that goes into the videos. It simply isn't fair to call any of these YouTubers as quote-unquote quote-unquote fake because they make 100 days videos that differ from the original format. The original format is survival based, okay? It's about playing Minecraft and trying to survive for 100 days. But now it's become something so much more than that. It's become this sort of means for storytelling and role-playing, and I think we should credit that, especially when you see YouTubers like
$224? I'm gonna continue, like, I'm actually gonna do this slideshow in a separate video, but I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description of this video. But anyways, that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button in the face and subscribe to Jersey Plays. And as always, peace.